swear these other I swear these other podcasts are just a waste of time. I'm skipping through them, I'd rather listen and change my mind. Wes and Nick always help me through my daily grind. Your favorite guys, your favorite lines, change my mind. I swear these other podcasts are just a waste of time. I'm skipping through them, I'd rather listen and change my mind. Wes and Nick always help me through my daily grind. Your favorite guys, your favorite lines, change my mind. Yeah.
Nick, I got a question for you while we start things off here.
Fire away, Wes.
If you had a choice, which reality TV show would you be on?
Which reality TV show?
which one do you think would best suit you and your skill set?
I'm not that familiar with reality TV because I think by and large it is
sure.
the worst brand of entertainment out there. It's not even. I would call it entertainment. I think is a little bit of a stretch.
Well, that is a stretch. I think that comment is a stretch.
No, not at all.
But you know of all the reality shows.
I mean, there's like
right?
the Real Housewives. There's the.
That's not the first place I would go to.
The Flavor Flav. There's what is it? The Kardashians. That's,
Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Those are the things that I think of when I think of reality TV.
Yeah, well, it could also be like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? That's reality TV.
That's reality TV?
Those are real people.
Those are game shows, Wes.
Those are real people, though.
That's not reality TV, though, by definition.
Well, how about the Big Brother? Real World Road Rules? How about what's the new one on Fox that's coming out? It's like
Biggest
Paradise
Loser.
Island.
Biggest
Loser.
Biggest Loser being the trainer for people.
Okay, you would be the trainer. Okay.
I was a trainer or the strength coach for 3 years. I think it was. So yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Wes?
Naked and Afraid. Because I think just most often I would find myself to be naked and afraid.
All right, was that supposed to be a joke?
Yeah, a little bit. I guess it was hit. We're kind of
no. I know it's tough. We're trying to figure out what's going on with the live stream because last week we had an issue and this week we had it again.
But I would also be on road rules, just straight up road rules. This is probably before your time, but it's just like real world. But you're in an RV, you're going cross country, competing in challenges to win X amount of dollars.
Oh.
It was like one of the original MTV reality shows. Great time. I love it. But welcome back, episode 10.
Yes.
Of the Change My Mind podcast.
Yes, big deal.
Wes Sykes, Nick Fryer here.
Absolutely.
Some may say you're the Jeff Kent to my Barry Bonds.
You know what? I realized that you called me the Oates from Hall & Oates last week.
Yeah.
It didn't hit me right away because I'm not a Hall & Oates guy.
Right, Hall & Oates, yeah.
No, I think that's fair though.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's just something I like to say. Yeah, it's like that. But for those of you who were able to find our live stream online, thank you very much. WBSM 1420.
If you didn't, sorry. That's
sounds like
fault.
A personal problem.
Yep,
not my problem.
Yeah,
it might be our problem actually.
We got a big one set up for today. I am very
big one. Yes, it is our first annual Change My Mind fictional movie TV baseball player draft.
Yes, and it's going to be an annual thing now, apparently.
I guess we'll do that, yeah.
Jeez. I don't know where that came from. I think it just make it sound better, Wes. Is that what you were going for?
I thought so. I was trying to add some levity, some pomp and circumstance to the whole thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Nick, this is a very confusing day for you. Because we're having the two Nicks collide. You're like the Spider-Man meme living out. You have the baseball Nick Fryer.
Yeah.
Then you have the comic book nerd Nick Fryer. And
it's just
your worlds are colliding right now.
It's because I know the baseball fans to some extent like that stuff, but I know that I go too far into it for them, that they'll be like, we don't want this. We don't follow you because of this. And that's like work. So I know I write stuff for other sites on entertainment, but I got to be careful about crossing streams, I guess.
Right.
So
it's always dangerous to cross streams.
Yeah, I mean, if you like baseball,
good old fashioned sword fight.
If you like baseball stuff, by all means follow my normal account or my sports account, or you can find Seems Legit Pod on Twitter too. We talk all about baseball stuff.
Absolutely, and you got the good 2v1s there usually, or you kind of take your not 2v1s, but you got your. Would you rather?
We did old school baseball drafts beforehand. We stopped doing that because the season's underway. There's so much to talk about that we want to get into. But we did talk about our 2v1 for this show. Last episode, you can find that on iTunes and all that crap too. My co-host over there, Matt Lopez, one of my former college teammates, he went with, I believe it was Kelly Leak.
Yeah, so it was a popular selection.
Popular selection. We will get into everybody else's picks that weighed in over on Twitter at Change My Mind Pod. But first, we got to get to the news, right, Wes?
Yeah, let's get over to the news. What's the first thing you got for us today?
Well, real quick, I mean, look, Wes and I are not big wrestling guys by any stretch. Tim is, and Tim's kind of figuring out the whole live stream thing right now. I'm a little excited for WrestleMania this year for the first time ever in my life because I like Becky Lynch.
Right.
I think she's entertaining on Twitter. In terms of the actual fighting, we saw a little bit the other day. I mean, it's fine. I saw most of it over your shoulder.
I was going to say, I don't know what you're talking about the other day.
You didn't see it.
No, I was too busy looking at those pearly browns you got there.
Pearly browns? You talking about my eyes?
Yeah.
No one's ever described my eyes as brown. That's why. I usually get hazel, green,
or pearly.
blue,
I couldn't
gray.
really see.
Oh, what? Sorry, Tim.
We got a voice in the corner here.
Yes.
I would say pearly's usually how you describe teeth.
Right.
Not eyes.
Right.
That's the other thing.
I thought he was trying to say like you don't brush your teeth.
Yeah.
Oh no! See, that was what I meant, but unintentionally, that's
now
probably what I said.
Now he's pigeonholing you as a stereotypical wrestling fan.
When he said brown, it just didn't. It didn't. You say yellow if you're talking about
Give
teeth.
me a break here.
Did you figure out the live stream thing yet? By the way.
Check your. I actually had to send it via Facebook message.
Oh, jeez,
Really?
really?
A Facebook message here.
I have some very limited internet abilities.
Oh, good. That's fair.
Oh, yes.
Understandable. Okay. So, in that case, the WrestleMania, I'm excited about it. We'll catch a little bit. I will try and catch a little bit of it. I think I'll DVR. But obviously, for our listeners, I would think that that's kind of a big deal.
It usually
DVR
falls.
DVR? Yeah.
You're going to like pay $65 for WrestleMania?
Oh, you got to pay for it. That's right. See, this is how much I know about wrestling.
No. Here's how you get around that.
Oh, here we go.
See, you've never been a subscriber to the WWE
You subscribe
Network
to the
before.
WWE Network. You pay
get the
$50.
first.
You get the whole thing.
No. First of all, it's only $9.99 a month. So it's worth it if you are a wrestling fan to have.
Yeah.
But if you subscribe, you get your first month free. So just subscribe this week. You'll get 30 days free. You can watch WrestleMania for free, and then you can cancel it after 30 days. But I think you'll be hooked, and you'll want to keep it for $9.99 a month.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be hooked for sure.
I'm not the biggest wrestling guy. I used to be. Give me the Attitude Era.
Right, I'm the same way.
And I'm just kind of checked out of it now.
I kind of watch it now out of
suspend my
habit.
disbelief. I know. Once you're in, I can get that for sure. But while Nick is tweeting out the link to the live stream via Twitter on the @ChangeMyMindPod Twitter handle, some news and notes that I have for the week. Voiceover roles for the May 2020 animated Scooby-Doo movie were announced. The movie's going to be called Scoob. Zac Efron will be starring as Fred. Amanda Seyfried as Daphne. Gina Rodriguez, you may know her from Jane the Virgin. I don't. She will be playing as Velma. Will Forte will be playing as Shaggy. Frank Welker, the original voice of Scooby, will be donning the Scooby-Doo voice once again. And Tracy Morgan as Captain Caveman, making his big screen debut with the villain as Dick Dastardly.
Which means Muttley's got to be in it too. You would think, right?
Yeah, I like both. I like some of those casting choices.
I think Zac Efron's a great Fred.
Will Forte is Shaggy. Great call.
Will Forte turning into a very great voiceover actor. Like I say, turning into like 5-6 years, I would say.
I don't think anybody but Frank Welker has ever been Scooby-Doo.
No, I'm sorry, Shaggy. Will Forte is Shaggy.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but I'm saying like going back to the Frank Welker casting. I don't
Yeah.
think anybody else has ever done Scooby-Doo's voice.
No, that's a good point. So you got to keep it in there. You know, one thing that kind of gets brought up, Zac Efron, High School Musical, has a little bit of a singing background. Amanda Seyfried, of course, of Mamma Mia fame. Is there going to be some musical numbers worked out in there? Is this going to be like an old school Disney movie?
No, I mean some of those Hanna-Barbera cartoons, they also had bands too.
No, that's
Josie
true.
and the Pussycats.
Right.
And, there was other ones, Jabberjaw. I think they were a band too.
Yeah.
One with the giant shark.
Now, are you in on this movie? Yes or no? Just knowing the cast.
Absolutely.
Just that's it. That's all you know.
Scooby-Doo, and I think I honestly.
Well, the first two like really flopped. Freddie Prinze Jr., Matthew Lillard,
You know there's been, like,
SMG.
I think you said this was animated.
This will be, yeah, but
Yeah.
this first two.
So I'm in on it. No, it's animated and live are totally different
So,
things. Like with animated,
guess
there's
so.
the sense of disbelief. It helps. A little
Sure.
bit. I think that makes a big difference.
Going back to wrestling, though, they've put out like 3 Scooby-Doo WWE crossover movies in the last few years.
Right, yeah. Well,
So it's not like this is something that hasn't been going on.
No.
This is going to be like a theatrical release. And it'll be, somewhat bigger budget.
I think I'm in. I think I'll probably wait for it to come out on like a
you're
free stream or something.
Yeah, you're going to consume a massive amount of Scooby snacks before you watch it, though.
Well, that's, I think, my typical MO. But yeah, exactly. There we go. Speaking of Scooby snacks, Bill and Ted's trilogy in the works. So Keanu Reeves and Alex Winters officially announced the sequel, Bill and Ted Face the Music. Plans to be released in August 2020. William Sadley, who played the role of Death in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, will reprise his role, although we don't actually know how it's going to play out. So again, this is a movie that's like 28 years in the making, pretty much. First Bill and Ted came out in 89, 78%, 75% on Rotten Tomatoes, audience and critic score. Bill and Ted Bogus Adventure, a little bit of a dip, Journey, 54, 56.
Most people don't like Bogus Journey.
Now,
Yeah.
is
Station.
that something that you would want to do for like an episode you'd want to do for
Like a
the show?
standalone?
Yes.
No, not
Okay, good, 'cause I
necessarily.
haven't seen
I
any of
like
them.
that. I think those are great movies. Keanu Reeves, that's where we got like Keanu, I think.
You know what? I think I might want to try and force you into doing a standalone, and I'll see the movie with you. Is Annabelle Comes Home.
Oh, you know how I feel about horror movies. I'm too much of a wimp.
I get so much, dude. I watched the trailer and I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna sleep tonight. I couldn't look in certain parts. I had to squint.
Why would you put yourself through that?
Because I don't know. Because I like being scared too a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, I was getting a work text. It's just stupid stuff.
I
Anyways,
need your mind here.
all right, I'm here.
Here.
Now. I'm done.
Focus,
I
center.
needed to see that, and I'm good.
Okay.
So Annabelle Comes Home. Tim's not excited for it at all. We'll get your take in a second. Okay, wait a second. I think that this is going to be terrifying. I don't whether it's
Terrible or terrifying?
Terrifying.
Okay.
Yes, terrible. No, well, I mean maybe in terms of the accuracy.
Terrifyingly bad.
No. You know what? If I want to review some bad movies too. I think that would be funny.
That could be good.
Like cult classic stuff and
Yeah, we'll do some some throwback stuff and
like
whatnot.
Return of the Killer Tomatoes.
But even if we go see,
or like Green Room.
if we see something,
Mars Attacks.
if we see something come out, and it's like, yeah, that looks like it's going to be pretty brutal. Maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe
Okay.
it's enough in our lane where I think we'd have fun with it. But I think
I
this
enjoy
will be
bashing
scary.
things.
I want to hear Wes talk about how scared he is. I want to tell people how scared I get. Do you think it's not going to be scary at all?
I don't have anything to say. I don't find these movies to be that scary. I think they're formulaic and cheesy and always have terrible endings.
Okay,
I
the
think you
terrible endings,
actually
I can
summed
understand
it
that.
up. I think you summed it up. Hit the nail on the head
You're
right
just
there.
agreeing with him because you don't want to see it because you're gonna crap yourself.
Well, that's part of it too. I do like my underwear.
Yeah.
You know? I think everybody likes their underwear.
You know what I really want to do?
Poop free.
I want to bring Jules with us. All three of us
Oh,
are gonna go see.
no. You cannot. There's not enough money in the world to drag her. If you think I'm like being a real bullish on this,
Okay, fine, whatever.
what
All
else you got?
Speaking of horror, Walking Dead season finale,
Okay.
season 9 finale was this weekend.
Horribly bad.
No. Well, you know what? I was actually
You see what I'm doing there?
I was a little underwhelmed with it.
It was not a
adverbs.
great season finale.
Language.
No, the episode before was what?
In usual Walking Dead style.
Here we go.
You know, they
killed off characters that you
No,
why do you have to care about them.
No. I actually listen. I know that I've crapped all over The Walking Dead for 9 seasons now. This was, especially the second half of season 9, the best, in my opinion, of all the seasons.
Wow.
I really
hear
enjoyed
that?
what they did, especially in the second half of season 9. But in typical Walking Dead fashion, it's the penultimate episode where they go for all the big stuff, and then usually the season finale has some degree of wrap up to that, and then they'll usually end it with some kind of a twist or something to look forward to. So it was underwhelming, but I expected it to be underwhelming because that just seems to be the MO of how they do it. They just give you kind of the emotional release from whatever big things happen in the second to last episode, and then they just give you that little twist like we got at the end of this one with the radio.
Interesting.
Okay. Well,
You thought I was going to crap all over it.
I did.
That was a well thought out response.
Yep, I'm a little disappointed.
I loved this entire season.
Wow.
The Carol Ezekiel dynamic, I wasn't really a big fan of what happened at the end with those two. So, the spoilers
It was
for Walking
forced.
Dead
The
right now.
whole relationship felt forced to me.
I didn't think it was forced at all. I thought that was from the beginning. He liked her because she was different, and that's how guys are. You know, she doesn't like me because I like where everybody else worships the ground I walk on. Why is she different? Why is she like that? And then he ends up falling.
I don't know why anybody likes Carol. To be honest with you,
I like you don't like Carol?
Who likes anybody named Carol? Carol.
There's one Carol that I like.
Negan's come along.
The unseen Carol from that classic SNL sketch. Carol, hold my calls.
Negan's
Speaking
starting
of
to
Forte.
fall in line with what I think is what happened to him in the comics, because I heard some things about what he did. I think he's starting to come along. But anyways, one last thing before we get into the comic news. It looks like Ben Schwartz wants to play
one of my favorite people.
Wants to play Plastic Man. You know, a little throwback to our Parks and Rec episode,
Yeah,
which was
absolutely.
episode 9 last week.
This time a week ago.
So this was tweeted out. Some random person, Liam Hart, tweeted out to David F. Sandberg. Sorry, David Sandberg. Hey, Pony Smasher, I guess it's his Twitter handle.
Pony Smasher.
Yep, you
Interesting
should
choice.
direct a Plastic Man movie. He said only if Rejected Jokes, which is Ben Schwartz's Twitter handle, stars in it. To which Ben Schwartz said, "Yes, please," in all caps.
He has said a number of times that he wants to be a part of the MCU.
Well, that's...
Or some sort of a superhero.
DC.
Well, yeah.
Oh, my God, Wes. Podcast is over, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Listen,
we will...
you can't...
The MCU has its own Plastic Man. His name's Reed Richards.
We made it a long way.
Except he's not as
10
funny.
episodes is solid.
You can't look at me and throw shade my way when you haven't been paying attention for the first 15 minutes of the podcast.
It was work. I'm so sorry.
This is work too, damn
yes,
it.
I know, but believe me, I'd rather do this. That's why I have my phone flipped over and it's done. Like, it was work related and I'm done. I was paying attention.
I had a misstep, but I've been here.
You have. Well, okay. Has it been that? Has it felt like I've been that far out in left field?
Yes, it has.
You're talking You're talking though. It's not like there's dead air.
You can't force me to talk all the time.
No, I can't. No, but you'll talk plenty. That's why we do this. We talk for an hour straight. There's no commercials.
That's very true.
But if someone wanted to advertise on the
I
show for a break,
slipped up and said it was the MCU instead of the DCEU. Give me a break. I was 2 letters off.
Okay, here's my take on this, and then we'll move on to the other stuff because I do want to get to the draft. I'm very excited. I got a surprise for everybody. Again, reason why it's a different experience watching us as much as it's enjoyable listening to us too, wherever you end up listening to us. With Ben Schwartz, I would see the Plastic Man movie no matter what, probably because it's superhero stuff and whatever. I would actually be excited if he took on that role. That character is funny, at least. I hate the Elastic Girl type superpowers. Mm-hmm. They're brutal. But having him as the main guy
because he looks almost like him,
and he fits the character's personality to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
I think pretty well. I'd be very much in on that movie. We definitely do a solo episode for that.
Yes.
Assuming that came out, when the podcast is still alive at that point, because I don't know if we can last if you don't know that Plastic Man is. It's okay. I'm not a Plastic Man fan.
This is I make one mistake. Someone is absent-minded for the first 15 minutes of the podcast. Can't even get the live stream up on time, and I say MCU.
Okay,
and you're gonna kill me for it.
The live stream thing is
what
Tim's
is your comic book minute?
Actually, that's YouTube's fault.
Okay,
we're gonna blame YouTube.
Major X1 is out this week. I might get it just to let you guys know how I feel about it. But it's Rob Liefeld's new project. It's a new X-Men character, so it's kind of a big deal. I've been reading Domino's Hot Shots. I've been reading Domino for a little bit ever since she got her solo run, and I'm with Gail Simone. I'm a big fan of it. The Hot Shots even better than the Domino's. It wasn't a solo run, but she had a couple teammates, but it was just her as in the title. Mm-hmm. I ran a poll on Twitter.
Oh,
and because I was thinking about adding a new title to my pull list, I threw out Daredevil, the new Daredevil, Spider-Gwen, or Miles Morales Spider-Man. I was I was thinking it wouldn't be Daredevil. It ended up being close between Daredevil and Miles Morales. Miles Morales won out, so I will be reading that going forward, at least giving it a shot.
Very nice.
And that is my comic minute, real quick this week.
That was real quick.
What do you got me to stay woke about?
Stay woke. No, that's really good. I want everybody who is from the hip hop community to spark one up, to pour out a little bit of Henny for our fallen soldier and loved one, Nipsey Hussle.
Best name for a rapper ever.
Nipsey Hussle, great.
I wish I had heard of him before he died.
Crenshaw's finest, the California rapper, was shot dead outside of his clothing store, Marathon Clothing, on Sunday, March 31st. The LAPD have said they believe the crime is gang-related. However, a lot of people have been speculating that this is misdirection and that the government is behind the fatal shooting.
Oh, jeez.
Bad rapper, bad actor, and bad comedian Nick Cannon, for one, alluded to that very notion in various social media reports. Nipsey was doing narration work for a documentary that was just going to be released in the somewhat near future on Dr. Sebi, I believe his name is, a doctor who claimed to have cured AIDS in the late 80s, who was then promptly sued by the government for his so-called lies, and then he actually beat the government in a lawsuit. This is some.
And he was narrating the documentary.
He was narrating the documentary on the life of Dr. Sebi, who mysteriously died after winning that court case.
Yep,
I believe it was years later that he died inexplicably.
Well, I saw
when Nipsey announced that he was working on the documentary, many of his fans told him to be careful of something like this happening.
When I saw that it happened, I wasn't familiar with his work at all. But then I saw on Twitter, obviously he's trending, blah blah blah, and then I saw a little clip, and he's talking about trying. I don't know if it was his community or where he grew up, maybe something to that effect, and he was trying to help the area. He was trying to improve things. Like, he was like opening up, like cleaning things up. It was weird. I mean, it was like what you think someone who makes it big, that would be their goal if they come from a downtrodden area, and he was actually doing it. Right,
and if you listen to interviews from him, he's very well thought out. He's very, thoughtful. Very, how do I want to put this? He's better than what I am right now at communicating. He's very, very thoughtful with his words. Mm-hmm. But he is what the people in the streets call a real one. Now, he was shot down in broad daylight. Now, there's apparently video cameras everywhere, surveillance cameras. You only have one really far one. It appeared to be the victim, who would later be identified as Nipsey Hussle, was approached by this guy. So there looked to be like there was some sort of familiarity. And then, bam, he's down. It's out. So I don't know. It's a lot of speculation behind it. The government thing is very interesting. Who knows if that's true or not? That is yet to be seen.
It's sad, though. I mean, like,
it's sad
to see someone who legitimately was doing some good stuff.
However, if the government was behind this and was behind the Dr. Sebi murder as well, it would be very much falling in line, because all the money, I mean, how much money comes in from the pharmaceutical industry, and how many people in the world die from AIDS, which I would say the most pressing matter in this Earth right now is overpopulation.
I'll tell you one conspiracy.
That might be one way to keep the population from boiling over.
I'll tell you what, man, when it comes to conspiracy theories, when the cancer one, I have a hard time not believing they don't have an answer for cancer.
It's just so tough to believe. They have all this work for a lot. They have all these years of research and money and everything, and I don't know anything about anything.
No, but AIDS is I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, because look at Magic Johnson.
Well, he's got money.
And he's
just
fine.
Pure cash.
He
right
got,
into
it was HIV
IVs.
with him, right, Tim? And now, and he's been fine.
Yeah, but that's the thing is I have a friend that worked in the pharmaceutical industry for years, and said there's no money in curing diseases.
Right.
The money is in making them chronic illnesses, and so that's what they've been focusing on with AIDS and with cancer, making it chronic, so it's not fatal, but you never actually get rid of it.
Which is a horrible thing.
It's legitimately frustrating. I'm not, Anyways,
on that note, let's draft some fictional baseball players
before we get started. Okay, so because Wes and I
some ground rules.
Will probably have other drafts going forward. I don't know how often it's going to happen. We're not a draft podcast though. We're all about movies and talking about why.
But it's a fun format.
Why I think Wes is an idiot and vice versa.
Well, yeah, fair enough.
Now we're going to do a snake-style draft. Mm-hmm. We haven't decided who's going to draft first.
Sure.
I guess we can have Tim.
We could do a rock, paper, scissors. A little Rochambeau.
We could do a rock, paper, scissors. Wes.
Just explain quickly for the nerds what snake draft means.
A snake draft means that so whoever has first pick, the second pick is going to have second and third pick, and then it goes back to the next pick. So pretty much after the first.
So it evens out.
Yeah, pretty much after the first pick, it's going to go two picks, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much just to compensate for going second. So Snake draft. We can have repeat characters. So in the course of baseball, there's one actor who you think of.
Repeat actors, not repeat characters.
Sorry, thank you.
Yes.
Repeat actors, not repeat characters. So there's one actor who's commonly associated with baseball movies. He has two. Is it two that he plays a player? So both of those players, you can have them on the same team. And this is going to be for our viewers, not just our listeners, our viewers. I have something special planned.
Yes.
Going forward, Wes does not know about this. Tim does. I told him just in case we didn't have the video, I wanted him to capture your reaction.
No spoilers either. You know how I feel about spoilers.
Yes.
You didn't give me anything.
Well, you're also not under the influence of anything right now, as far as I know.
you'd think of. Yeah.
Well, I hope not. You drove here. So this is incentive for if you guys don't watch us and you listen, just to check things out.
Oh boy. What do we got here? He's taking his hat off. He's got, oh my God, what is that?
What does it look like?
Where'd you get that?
Tim, first of all, can you hear me okay? We didn't sound check this earlier.
No, you sound great.
Okay, so I can't wear my headphones. I thought of this halfway through the episode.
this is fantastic.
But I can hear you fine.
We're
good.
We have Michael Fassbender just switched spots here and hopped in the captain's chair.
I bought this at Boston Comic Con.
Oh my God, that's so great.
This was 2017, I think.
Oh man,
I think I bought it then. And what's funny is, so I've always liked
Was
Magneto.
this handmade by someone? This was crafted.
Yeah, and you know what? I should know the guy's name. I know he goes to Boston Comic Con. In Rhode Island Comic Con.
It's nice work. Nice handwork.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job. He had a couple. I almost got one without the horns. I mean, the whatever you call this, but it didn't fit my gigantic head.
Sure.
He had a Red Hood one too, and that's when I kind of had just learned about Red Hood, and obviously that's my guy.
You're regretting the choice of the Magneto helmet now.
A little bit, but I love Magneto.
Sure.
And the other thing is Red Hood has the face mask. For the sake of the podcast, I would never wear the Red Hood one. It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, it's true.
The reason I'm wearing this is the same reason Magneto wears it, because Magneto has to wear this to hide Charles Xavier's to stop Charles Xavier's telepathic powers. I don't want West reading my mind in the course of this.
Now, that is operating under the assumption that I want to read your mind, which is very arrogant.
For the sake of the draft, I would think you would. I am the
arrogant
baseball expert on this show.
Well, a middling Big Ten pitcher. I'm not sure.
Middling is a compliment, actually. I'll take
that. I can't say that because I was a Babe Ruth All-Star.
Yeah. You know what? I find that funny when people say, "Oh, you can't say this because you weren't that." It's like, it's opinions. I mean, at the end of it all, look at Stephen A. Smith. You think he was an athlete? No. Was Max Kellerman?
No, but he is a bottom feeder.
The only thing Max Kellerman knows about boxing in terms of experience is about getting punched in the face more than likely. He's probably never hit anybody.
That's a good point. Enough about him, though. Let's get down to it.
So we're doing a baseball draft because it is baseball season.
Right.
Wes, I wanted to ask you, though, before we started this.
My World Series picks.
No. Although if you have that,
how many home runs I hit at Jackson Field?
Is that the Wareham Field?
It's Bourne.
Bourne. Sorry, I don't know why I was.
If you're going over the Sagamore Bridge, you can see it.
Okay.
It's very picturesque.
When it comes to baseball movies.
The Bourne Bridge, right?
What's that?
The Bourne Bridge, you can see.
No, the Sagamore Bridge. The Jackson Field Sagamore Bridge.
Sagamore Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to the right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you, so in terms of ranking baseball movies, do you know what your top 3 are?
In no particular order. I could probably spit them off. Yeah, I like Field of Dreams, although that movie's kind of waned on me. It meant more to me as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Love Major League. I thought that was a great movie. What's another one that I liked? Definitely not Summer Catch. Bull Durham was just okay. Sandlot. Yeah, Sandlot. That's a top 3 right there.
Yeah, Sandlot has to be. So I would say in probably this order, Field of Dreams with a Bullet is my favorite baseball movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's a little slow going back on it. But
you know what, man? It's just total. I just feel it feels real to me. Like, I know it's ridiculous to say that they're building a baseball field in their backyard, but I will go to. I've been to Iowa before, but I will go to Iowa to see that field again.
Okay.
I haven't seen the field. I will go to Iowa again. Anyways. Sandlot, easily the number 2. I mean, I think on most people's list, it's their number 1. Rookie of the Year is my number 3.
Yeah, that's a great one.
And there's a special reason for that, and I will we'll get into that a little bit later.
Sure.
I would say The Natural is number 4. My dad loved The Natural. We didn't watch it as much as a kid as I would have expected to, but he had a Roy Hobbs jersey. He had a
that's nice.
New York Knights hat. He had everything. And then League of Their Own I really liked it.
It's a good one. That's
There's
a good
no
movie.
crying in baseball.
Well, of course, yeah.
All right, so Wes and I are going to draft 2 pitchers. Correct me if I'm wrong anywhere.
Yeah, 2 pitchers, starter or reliever, doesn't matter.
Right, because we're drafting for 1 game.
Yes.
An infield, an outfield,
Yeah.
DH, a manager, a team announcer.
Yes.
And in the course of it all, you had a rule too about positions and everything like that. It's positionless basketball.
Yeah, because there was a couple of tough, like you're building your team, so there's a couple positions that are a little bit light. But if you see like a decrepit catcher or like an aging corner outfielder that you think you can convert into, like, say, a first baseman, or maybe there's a couple of shortstops who are really good that are light in second base, you just want to flip them over.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fine by me.
I love it.
Mookie Betts started out as a second baseman.
That's true. He absolutely
did. I don't know if you knew that, Nick.
Tim Wakefield started out as a second baseman too.
Right, yeah.
And so did Mariano Rivera, greatest closer of all time.
That's a good point.
Guy had one friggin' pitch.
Buster Posey was a shortstop and a pitcher at the Cape Cod Baseball League, and then Scott Pickler turned him into a catcher.
Scott Pickler, wow.
The manager of the Armand Dennis Red Sox.
Oh, it used to be DY. I still call him DY. Anyways.
It's DY, the base for the high school.
Right.
YD for the Cape League.
But was it always YD for the Cape League?
Yes.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes, but let's get down to brass tacks here. Let's do a little Rochambeau.
Okay.
Best of 1.
Yes, ready?
Right.
Rock, paper, scissors,
shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right, what do you want? Oh, so I get to pick.
You pick.
I am gonna take. Do I want first pick or do I want to flip it? Man, I didn't expect to get.
Wait, it all evens out at the end of it. You know?
I know.
It's
I know.
not like we have an odd number of people here.
I know, but but that first one can make a big difference. I'm gonna go. God, dude. All right, you know what? Screw it. I am going to take the first overall pick.
Okay.
Got to do it. Can't pass up on it. And now in the course of this, I want to shoot. All right.
We're going to put a clock on this kid here.
I'm going to go with the guy who I feel like is the no-brainer in the course of this all. He's the best player. He might end up being my DH, but he's the best hitter without question, Roy Hobbs.
Okay.
The natural. He also was a pitcher too before he got shot by that nut job who killed herself in the movie. I forget her name.
Right, sure.
I think he struck out like the Babe Ruth type character in the course of it. But when it came to hitting, man, he could hit the cover off the ball. You know, as a kid, you always try and hit the light poles when you hit a foul ball, right?
Right.
Well, he hit it out. He hit a home run.
I think he had the first fireworks show in the history of ballparks.
Exactly. In history of America, actually,
yes.
I believe it was, Wes. Roy Hobbs. Roy Hobbs, number 1 with a bullet. He is on my team.
I will say, good pick. Strong pick. I like it. My one little bugaboo with Roy Hobbs. Just hope that bat that's from a tree that's been struck by lightning does not get sawed off on like a cutter in on his hands.
Have you seen that dude rake? He's fine.
I'm just saying, you get a Mariano Rivera cutter on the hands, he's sawing that thing off.
Okay, first of all, we're not dealing with Mariano Rivera. Second, he had the kid who made the bat for him too, right? And didn't he hit fine with that?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
so you just need the tree. As long as the tree's there, we're all right.
Okay.
Even then, I don't know if that was from the tree, that second bat. Anyways, what do you got for a second pick?
It's more a joke than anything. But
this whole thing's a joke if you think about it.
My second
We're
pick,
talking baseball.
I'm going off of positional rankings here. This is a position that I did not find very deep at all, so I want to get my guy, make sure I got him good. Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
God damn it!
Played by Mike Vitar from The Sandlot.
I should have picked him.
Could be the heart and soul of the team. He's living out his dreams. You know, he's worked very hard to get there. He's got blazing speed on the base path, solid hitter.
Nick.
I can put him at the 2-hole. I can put him all the way down at the 9 spot, maybe as a double leadoff type of thing. Can't go wrong. 5-tool player in my book. Got to have him. Weak position by the shortstop.
You have him as your shortstop.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Everything I looked up that he was a shortstop.
Yeah, was who I saw as shortstop.
Oh,
but that's
okay.
position. That's
okay. All right, but yeah.
Benny the Jet Rodriguez is a justifiable shortstop.
Okay, yeah. He has the skills to play. He's an athletic freak.
Mm-hmm.
Now for my first pick.
Were you going to pick Roy Hobbs as one of your first 2 picks?
No. So I wasn't there. Yeah, so I was...
yeah, that was dumb on my part. I had a feeling that was the case. All right, go ahead, Wes.
Okay. Now let's go for... I want a starting pitcher. I need someone to anchor my lineup. I want someone young. I want someone who I can work with a little bit. Give me Ebby Nuke LaLoosh, played by Tim Robbins from Bull Durham. He's a young stud, what appeared to be, from what I remembered in some photos, he's a lefty starter who needs time to learn how to be a pro's pro. Electric stuff. Not a whole lot between the ears. Kind of reminds me of a John Papelbon.
Good luck with that, Wes. That's your reliever at best.
He's an ace. He's an ace starter.
He's meat.
Oh, all right.
All right. So I'm so pissed about Benny the Jet Rodriguez. I wasn't prepared. Honestly, I wasn't prepared to have the first overall pick. So I'm not gonna go with a pitcher quite yet because I know my ace. You're not gonna take him for sure. I think this position is fairly shallow, and this is another guy who. West took a guy who's out of his position and moved him to another spot. You know what I'm saying. First base. I'll tell you the other thing, too, that's around me right now, Wes, is I don't have the headphones on. I'm not used to talking to a mic
without hearing yourself.
Very strange for me.
This is all working in my favor right now.
So I'm going to go with first base, and I'm going to stick Pedro Serrano there.
Oh, okay.
Now, the guy has a little bit of trouble with the breaking ball from time to time. Yes, I understand
that. That's what Jobu's for.
But that's what Jobu's for. And Wes's guy right now who's on the mound is known for his fastball, and he loves to throw gas.
He loves to throw gas.
So you go ahead and throw a Nuke in there. He's going to have to throw him a fastball at some point. And
That's a good point.
You're not sneaking it by him by any means. So I got Pedro Serrano as my first baseman.
Very nice.
And then now I know Wes said he actually, and I didn't include this in my top 5 for baseball movies, but Bad News Bears.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that one's probably, I don't know, I might have to move one of those out. But I'm going to put this guy at shortstop. He played outfield in Bad News Bears, but he's the best player on the team. He can definitely hang, no doubt. I would argue he has more game off the field than on the field.
Oh.
And I saw some people on Twitter say
that
too. I'm going to go with Kelly Leak, the original Kelly Leak. Jackie Earl Haley, who we actually
outfielder? He's an outfielder?
He was an outfielder, but I'm sticking him at shortstop.
Okay.
And Tim West and I still see him from time to time, Jackie Earl Haley, because he is a security guard outside of Gillette Stadium.
Oh my God! Oh yeah,
that guy. He looks every time we see him. I'm like, that guy. That's Jackie Earl Haley playing a character.
That is a strong inside joke, and I approve. Yeah. That is really good.
But you read away. You see that, right?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Tim did it one time with Brendan, and he didn't get it.
Brendan's usually quick on the whip with that sort of thing.
He knows.
Here they come, the movie stars. Here they come.
Yeah, I don't think he knows who that is. Anyways, what do you got for me, Wes?
Okay, so that's pretty good. Okay, so now I have 2 picks here again, right?
Yep.
Okay, so now we're just doing 2 and 2, 2 and 2.
Yep.
Okay, so I have one position. Let's see here. I am going to take. I'm going to go. This is part of my strategy here. You spoke of one actor who was in multiple movies, which led me to believe that you're missing out on this actor here. This falls completely on brand with me. I'm taking as my center fielder Willie Mays Hayes, played by Wesley Snipes from Major League. Top of the lineup hitter, nightmare on the base pass. Once again, I got him and Benny the Jet and table setters atop the lineup, 1-2. Big merch upside with all of his gloves that he can sell, and his American Express. So you never steal home without it. Really appreciate that line. Like that. But with my next pick, I am going by another Wesley Snipes character, Bobby Rayburn from the, I believe, 1998 film, The Fan.
I never saw.
Possibly the fictional version of Barry Bonds. He's a clear-cut center fielder, but I'm going to be playing him at one of the corner outfield spots. And clear-cut number 3 hitter. It brings with him a rabid fan base.
And he's an outfielder in that?
Yeah.
I just thought of another player. Oh, my God.
Rabid fan base. You guys, if you haven't seen the movie, I guess you don't know.
No, I haven't seen that movie. But
that's a good joke for the people out there. So I got 2 Wesley Snipes characters on Wesley Sykes' team.
Okay, well played. Well played, Maurer. All right. So I'm thinking about my outfield, and because I have Roy Hobbs right now, but I'm a little concerned because a lot of outfielders are flying off the table. And I moved Serrano and Leak into the infield. And, you know what the other thing was in the course of this draft, too? Wes and I talked about, there are real players involved in this too, because Field of Dreams and other stuff.
Sure.
You can absolutely unlimited amount of players.
Yeah, we're just having fun here.
Okay, so we're doing it all unlimited. Okay, so when it comes to, I don't know what Mr. 3000, what position he played. Bernie Mac's character.
I had him down as a first baseman, DH.
First baseman, DH. Okay, so I don't think I'll need him then because I have Pedro Serrano. All right,
you're looking very slow on the base paths right now.
Well, I'm not gonna. Well, because my dude's MASH. I mean, Roy Hobbs, you just get on base for him, you're fine. Kelly Leak can run, dude. What are you talking about? I have the best all-around athlete in the entire draft, Kelly Leak, and then I have Roy Hobbs, who is the best pure hitter. You didn't even know who
Bobby Rayburn was.
Doesn't matter. It's not important. You haven't
make your damn
pick. You haven't seen
Let's
Badgers
go.
Bears. What are we in a rush? So I'm going to pick 2 outfielders actually in the course of this. I'm going to go with Bumpy Bailey, who was in the natural, who died running through the outfield wall so that Roy Hobbs wouldn't play over him.
Right.
That takes commitment. That grit and balls is all that guy has. I know he was flash before, but you piss him off and he's going to go and play well.
But the last time we saw him, he wasn't on the field. He was running through
That's
a
irrelevant.
wall.
That's irrelevant.
Like, is he on the DL right now? Is he available?
He is active. I'm taking the ideal self, Bumpy Bailey.
Okay, all right.
And then this one, I was stunned. I had no idea this guy played in a baseball movie. Character's name is Ben Williams. He was the center fielder.
Oh, USOB.
In Angels in the
USOB.
Tim, do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't. No.
Angels in the outfield. The center fielder to make the first guy to make a big play is Matthew McConaughey.
Adrian Brody was also in that movie too.
Was he really?
It was a star-studded cast.
Adrian Brody was in a base. He wasn't. He was a kid in that movie.
No. He was one of the players.
Really?
Yeah, but he was like a bench player though.
He's that old?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have been like early
right
20s
around
back then.
Right around that age, yeah.
But yeah, Matthew McConaughey, again, I mean, in terms of his bat, I'm not really too worried about it. He's got God on his side, man.
He's got the Angels on him, and he makes
mean.
like, what did I have down here? I actually had a good little death-defying leaps of faith.
Yep.
A leap of faith?
Yes, absolutely.
Because he's leaping and he's got the Angels there.
So he's going to patrol center field for me.
I'm a writer.
I mean, I have the Angels on my side now. Yeah, well done, Wes. So I have.
I
that's
can't
my
believe
4
you
and
took
5.
that.
What?
I can't believe you took him. I had him down there as
I'm so
one of
glad
my
I did
late
it.
picks.
One of your late picks?
Well, yeah, in case my double Wesley Snipes didn't work out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. What do you got now?
So you have Williams and then
Bumpy Bailey.
And then Bubby Bailey, yes.
Yes. So Williams will be my center fielder. I'll probably put Roy Hobbs in right and Bailey in left. I think. Roy
so
Hobbs.
you still have a DH then?
I still have a DH. Yep.
Okay. So right now I have 2 outfielders. I got Benny the Jet Rodriguez at short. I got an anchor starting pitcher in Nuke. Give me a nice double play combo in the middle of the infield. Give me Marla Hooch.
No!
Played by Megan Cavanaugh. You didn't think I was going to know this one, huh? From a league of their own.
No!
How is that helmet working out for you now, son?
You've got to be kidding me.
No, I'm not. My top-ranked second baseman on my chart here. She's a strong switch-hitting second baseman with some pop for the Rockford Peaches. Why wouldn't I want her?
No.
She's a stud.
Oh, man. First of all, my ears caught right now.
Give me Hooch.
You've got to be kidding me.
Second baseman.
That is a great pick, Wes. I'm so glad that I picked Williams too. Oh, but that was a better hitter. Oh.
And I realize now that I'm going to need a third outfielder here.
Well, you're in a bit of a bind there, aren't you, buddy?
Yes, yeah, I am. But I might, let's see. Who could I go with?
I mean, I could make a suggestion for an outfielder.
You can make a suggestion.
Yeah.
You can go with Ruben Amaro Jr. from the Goldbergs.
From the Goldbergs?
Yes.
Like the TV show?
Yeah. The TV show is discounted.
Oh, I've never seen that show. No, I've never seen it. I couldn't tell you that.
So
Ruben Amaro Jr., the actual former...
Ruben Amaro Jr., yep. He actually went to school with Adam Goldberg.
Really?
They went to high school together, so he's a character in the show.
Oh,
Did the actual person appear in it too, or no?
They do this thing at the end of every episode
where
where they'll talk, they'll have the people who play them as kids talk to the real people.
Gotcha.
So yeah, he has been on the show.
Gotcha, okay.
He's an outfielder.
He's an outfielder. I'm going to go with...
Go with the one we talked about. It's a no-brainer, Wes.
I could do that, but I don't want to do that.
It's a cheap.
All right, I'm going to do it. Give me Shoeless Joe Jackson, played by Ray Liotta from Field of Dreams.
It's the best. Yeah, I mean,
great low ball hitter. He won't sell out.
I'm gonna have a major league guy here too. So
that's what I got.
Yeah, it's
all I got on him.
It's what you have to do on that one, Wes. And look, and you tried to not go that route. You did well.
You took my Ben Williams, so I had to come back and drop the hammer down on Marla
I can't
Hooch.
believe I shouldn't. You know what? I should have known. The Benny the Jet one was a dumb move on my part, but I didn't want to risk Roy Hobbs.
How many fantasy baseball drafts have you done, man? You go with the weak positions first.
Well, but you got to pick your superstar. Like you can't pass up on him. Like Roy Hobbs is the best hitter in this lineup. He is in the draft, the best pure hitter. And if I don't get Benny the Jet, I'm just as content with Kelly Leak. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, but Roy Hobbs is old, man. What does he have left?
We're playing one game, bro.
Yeah, sure.
And again, the best pure hitter. Poppy was old, and what did he do at the end?
Yeah,
he raked.
And so was not Bucky Dent. Who am I thinking of here? Bill Buckner. All he had to do was finish a couple innings.
Oh, it's fine. If I have to move Roy Hobbs to DH, I'm moving to DH. We'll figure that out when we get there. Because I have another guy who I'm not certain on his position, and I'm probably going to stick him as DH. And for now, I'll take him next. So I'm going to go. I can't believe you freaking took Marla Hooch, and that's going to have to affect some things for me too. But right now, I am going to go with Butch Hato.
Butch Hato, okay.
Of Rookie of the Year. He is the Mets character. He is the
horrible locker room guy.
Well, I mean, he's the kind of guy you don't like to play against, but maybe on your team. You know, I heard he's a real good clubhouse guy. He bought everybody beers after the game, even though they lost.
Isn't he a first baseman?
DH.
Oh, yeah, I'm DH. I'm sorry.
I didn't know if he was a first baseman or not. But see, there you go. If he's a first baseman, then I'll stick him at first base, put Serrano back in the outfield, Hobbs at DH, and now I'm locked.
You're feeling good. You still have no base running presence whatsoever outside of Leak.
Dude, it's so overrated when I can mash. I don't need to worry about that.
How does that work out for the New York Yankees, my friend?
You sound like the beginning of the season, 2004 Red Sox.
The beginning of the season,
like pre-trade.
Before and then they got Doug Minkiewicz, who had wheels, and then Orlando Cabrera, who stole a ton of bases. Who could forget? I know Dave Roberts. I understand that.
Defense wins championships, my friend.
Dude, a ball's not landing in my outfield. Now that I have Serrano out and left, and then I have Hato,
Serrano solves all your problems.
Serrano's an actual outfielder.
Or he's just well insured.
I have two gods on my side.
Yeah,
so that makes a big difference. All right, so
wait, who's the other god?
Jobu.
Yeah.
And then God.
And then I have God.
Right,
with Angels.
Talking about God.
Yeah. The Angels in the outfield.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Williams. It's just such a nondescript name when I have written down.
So I forgot that I have Kelly Leak in my infield already at shortstop. So this makes a big difference in terms of, and I forgot to write down third base like an idiot. But I only have 2 infield slots left. I'm not worried too much about catcher. I'm so pissed about Marla Hooch. I thought that was a steal and a friggin' half.
Nah, son.
Okay, so Wes has a major leaguer already. I'm going to take a major leaguer who plays a major leaguer.
Okay.
And this is Moneyball. I am going to take Royce Clayton as Miguel Tejada.
Oh,
as my
very
shortstop,
nice.
And I will switch Kelly Leak over to second base.
Okay.
Again,
now that was an oversight on my part. Moneyball.
That is, well, I mean, again, we're talking about like pro guys and stuff like that. It's a little bit of a gray area, but we went with Field of Dreams guy. I mean,
2006 MVP.
I think it was 2004. I could be wrong. Why did I close that? 2004
was Vlad Guerrero, Albert Pujols.
You're right. It definitely wasn't 2004. You're right about that. Miguel Tejada might have been a PED guy too.
Oh, he most definitely was.
2002.
Oh wow, that early. Wow. Okay. Well,
and I think Moneyball was the next year.
Okay.
It was 2003. But dude, that's where Moneyball is such BS, because you still had Miguel Tejada, and then your pitching staff was Tim Hudson, Barry frickin' Zito,
and Mark Mulder. With Keith Folk closing.
Oh my God, what are we gonna do? Shut up.
And they blew a 2-0 lead on the New York Yankees in the 2001 ALDS or something.
I always found it weird how they couldn't play the Yankees, but then the Angels owned the Yankees in the postseason. Right. And then when it comes to the Red Sox, they owned the Angels in the postseason.
For a while, and then that turned around.
But anyways, I think it is now your pick, Wes, because I took Hato and I took Tejada.
That's right. Okay, so I have my all 3 outfielders taken. I got second base. I got shortstop. I need a first baseman. I need a first baseman. I want an all-around player. Someone can fill up the stat, maybe be a number 4 hitter for me. Give me Clue Hayward.
I don't know who.
Played by retired MLB pitcher Pete Vukovich from Major League. Now, Clue Hayward was on the opposing team. He appeared against Rick Vaughn in Rick Vaughn's first Major League appearance. Gives up a grand slam. You hear Bob Uecker introducing him, and he says he led the league in most offensive categories, including nose hairs. His first appearance against Vaughn was a grand slam, and they also point out that he is the reigning Triple Crown winner in that league with numbers of 341, 48 home runs, and 121 RBIs.
Wow.
Which is just a fantastic season. I'm not even sure if that's like legitimate.
Is that
341, 48, 121?
Was that on like the big screen
number
or something
4
in the course of that?
No,
or
he's like says it. Like, Uecker like reads it off like when he's like, going through his play-by-play during the at-bat.
Okay.
So give me Clue Haywood at first base.
Uecker has some great lines.
Oh yeah, it's great.
I got another one in the bank for you, ready to go too. But okay.
And I have one more.
It's a good first base pick though.
I need a battery for Nuke. My Nuke and my relief pitcher to be named later. I could go with a veteran grizzled leader who's seen it all, been it all, nice steadying force in the locker room. But no, I'm not. I'm going to go with Hamilton, the great Hambino Porter, played by Patrick Renna from The Sandlot. An all-time trash talker behind the dish. He's a portly little fella, so he's a nice big target for Nuke to, throw something to behind the plate. Can offer some comic relief. Great locker room guy.
That's a good pick, Wes. I think he's probably the fan favorite for best catcher in a baseball movie. I don't know if he's necessarily the best catcher if we're trying to pick for quality of a team. Because right now I'm picking to win like an actual ball game, not just a good time.
I don't think you're doing a very good job, but there you go.
I beg to differ. So third base, which is tough, a very tough position to project in actual baseball. I find it to be, I think it's catcher and then third base. Now, originally I had an actual major leaguer set up to play that spot, but I don't want to load up with that. I don't like that move.
What were you going to do?
I was going to go with Buck Weaver.
Okay.
But in the course of once the shortstop thing got brought up, I had other guys, but Buck Weaver was originally my first guy because I thought you were going to pick this guy, Roger Dorn. From Major League.
Horrible locker room guy. Horrible.
He cleaned it up at the end, though. They cleaned it up at the end.
No way.
Won. They
Get him out of here. You know that role is loosely based off Wade Boggs?
I'm not surprised by that.
I don't know how true that is. I came across that a couple times in my research.
I could see how that would be the case. Look, dude, you're talking about Hato, how he's a bad locker room guy. He is bad for the other team. He's not bad for the clubhouse.
He's setting a bad example for the children, Nick.
Oh, shut up. Third base, you're on an island. You're by yourself. I think more than any other position, you're not part of the middle infield. First base has the runner to talk to. Catcher and pitcher have their thing going on. Third base, you're isolated. Okay,
fair.
So I think that you don't need to have a guy who's like all buddy with everybody. If he can hit, and guys will give him crap and tell him like get your head out of your ass, which my team will. Hato's going to tell him to do that. Kelly Leak will pop him in the friggin' nose if he has to.
A lot of combustible personalities on your roster there.
I got guys who will talk, who are vocal. All right, now I have delayed on drafting my pitchers, and I
I haven't touched any of them because I know you weren't going for...
you have Nuke Lelouch, obviously, and for the longest time, by the way, I thought it was Hook Lelouch because I couldn't catch
It's a weird name, nonetheless.
So I'm going to go for my first pitcher. I'm going to pick my starting pitcher.
Henry Rowan Gotner.
No, he's not my starting pitcher. No shot. He's on my board. I mean, he's obviously on your board.
You just see the nose turn up when I said starting pitcher. The air there that you just said that with.
So I have a team that's going to mash. I have a team that's going to hit a bunch of bombs. Okay. So I have no problem producing runs, but I still want to be able to shut down my opposition. And I want to make your team look stupid. So, and I will, because I'm going to have the best pitcher available out of everyone. And that's Billy freaking Chappell. One game is all I need for the love of the game. Perfect game. Who else is better? In a baseball movie, no one has pitched better than Billy Chappell, played by Kevin Costner.
When I say horrible locker room guy, Kevin Costner is the epitome about it. One thing,
Not Billy Chapel. Not Billy
if
Chapel.
you were to look over my notes here, you will notice one thing, that there is not a single Kevin Costner character on this notes. Do you know why that is, Nicholas?
Do tell the listeners. I know why. I forgot.
Well, this is a conspiracy theory, a lot like the conspiracy theory of Delonte West sleeping with LeBron James' mom, in the sense that we don't talk about it because we all know that is true.
Delonte's the man.
Now, during the Iron Man streak of Cal Ripken Jr., there was a point of which one game was called off because the Orioles had lighting issues. What really went down, for people who are in the know,
supposedly,
if you subscribe to this, is that Cal Ripken Jr. came home to his wife being porked by Kevin Costner. And he was in such a distraught that he was not going to play the game. The consecutive game streak was going to pass. They call the game. He plays the first at bat of the next game, gets taken out, and he's like, can't handle it. So the streak is alive. He got his one at bat. He started the game, blah, blah, blah. Gone, get taken out.
Yeah, that would do it.
Kevin Costner, home wrecker. Allegedly. Don't want him in my clubhouse.
Allegedly.
Yeah, that stuff, though, it's when they're not talking about it than when it's true.
Next time I'm in an elevator with Cal Ripken, I'll ask him.
That's right. You've been in an elevator with him.
It's a thing with Comey and I.
Oh, yeah?
We've been in the elevator multiple times with Cal Ripken.
Yeah, ask him about this wife's infidelity.
Just turn to him in the middle of the
Comey
elevator
that
and say,
everybody's talking about in the news, we know that Comey.
Yeah, not that Comey.
No, not that.
But just turn to him and say, hey, is it true about Kevin Costner?
All right,
that's why you won't see him on my draft board.
Okay, well, there you go. So we got the explanation why West is not picking Crash Davis as well, who I will not be picking either. Spoiler alert. But that rounds out my next two picks, I believe. I'm at 9 right now. So you should be, I think, a couple behind, if I'm not mistaken.
So I have a DH and a reliever. I have
a pitcher and a catcher, and then
the manager and
the announcer.
Okay, so I need a DH. I also need a third baseman. How did that happen?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's why I picked a third baseman first. You can jump the gun and go manager first if you want to. I mean, you don't have to wait. I'm just letting you know.
No, I know.
That's crossed my mind.
Third base, give me Kofi Evans, played by Michael Perkins from the movie Hardball.
I've never seen Hardball. That's Keanu Reeves, right?
Oh, man, it's a sucker. Yeah, I'm a sucker for it.
Is Keanu Reeves the manager in that movie?
Yes, he is. Kofi Evans is troubled but angry. No, I'm not going to pick them now. He's troubled and angry, but easily the best player on the Cucumbas. And that's all I got. It was a lovely story about a team. If I could pick G-Baby, I would, but he was too small to play on the team. Michael B. Jordan also starred in that movie as well. So,
really?
Yeah. He was a good child actor. He saw a lot of work as a kid.
Okay. So,
and then I have...
Oh, sorry. I jumped the gun.
I need a relief pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
I could go Rick Wild Thing Vaughn. I could go with Henry Rowan-Gotna, who my fiance has a huge crush on, or did have a huge crush on the actor.
Uh-huh.
The actor's name is Thomas Ian Nicholas. Dude's got 3 first names.
Henry Rowan-Gardner?
Yeah, I can't pick that.
Also of American Pie fame.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, if you want to call that fame. He plays kind of a bitch in that movie.
He's probably the worst character.
Give me Kenny Powers, played by Danny McBride from Eastbound and Down. The John Rocker of fictional pictures. He may not be the best mentor to Nuke, but he's throwing heat, and we'll talk that the whole time out there.
You want to talk about the worst clubhouse guy on the entire draft board?
Oh,
not even
He learns his lesson sometimes.
Oh, spare me, Tim.
Sometimes.
No, look, I haven't watched a ton of Eastbound and Down, but I've watched enough to know that he is a virus. He's a cancer.
Might be
What do
one
you
of the
think
funniest
Roger
shows of all
Dorn
time.
is?
What?
What's Roger Dorn?
Yeah, but I have a team of a-holes that are going to be like, hey, we are a-holes, but we like each other. You're a dink, all right? And you better screw off.
I got good locker room guys in there. I've got up and down the
And he's
going to
ruin it for everybody. Kenny
guys.
Powers, he's going to ruin Nuke, who's not a good locker room guy if he has the wrong person in his ear. He's proven that he needs to have the right person.
That's why I got the Hambino behind there.
Okay,
Keep him in check.
So I'm going to jump the gun on my manager here, and I'm going to stick to the theme with my team. Who better to manage a bunch of a-holes than a one Buttermaker from Bad News Bears? The worst. Obviously the original, not the Billy Bob Thornton versions. I got no time for that. But give me Buttermaker. He knows how to handle the loudest group of annoying kids ever. And he's, like I said, he's a dink. He's a drunk. These guys are going to be able to relate to him. And you know what? When he tells you to shut up, it's like, because like, guys, you actually have to shut up. Like this is like, if I'm telling you to stop, you have to stop.
Okay.
So it would be much better if you had seen that movie. I can't believe
I haven't seen it.
either of the Bad News Bears.
Neither of them, no.
I mean, I can understand the second one to an extent.
There's 3 original ones.
There's a third one?
Bad News Bears go to Japan.
Oh, that's right. Kelly Leak's in that one too with his father. Yeah, that one's.
Of course, who could forget?
That one, a lot of people could forget that one.
Most people.
Yeah, most people would forget that. So I got my manager set up. I will.
And now you have a relief pitcher and an announcer left.
And a catcher. Excuse me. I am
I
gonna
got a catcher
give
too,
you,
yeah.
in fairness. Well, I see that's where you got to be smart with the picks. I know you can't get him in. You already
I
have a
have
catcher.
I already have a catcher.
And you already have a relief pitcher, so I'm going to get my manager. I will be a gentleman, though, and let you pick announcer first. Okay?
I have my announcer. I know.
Well, that's fine. So I'm at a tough spot here with catcher because on one end I have Gus Sinski from For the Love of the Game, who caught Billy Chappell, played by John C. Reilly.
Now that I think is a smart move. Go with the battery.
And I think
familiar with one another.
I think I'm gonna have to go with that. My backup. I mean, obviously, there's Crush Davis. You'd have Billy Chappell. You know, you'd have Kevin Costner throwing in Kevin Costner. That'd be a little weird.
Oh yeah.
But my backup
well,
was
who would know Kevin better than Kevin?
Right. But my backup was Dottie. Hanson?
Yeah, Dottie Hinson
from
A League of Their Own. Yeah.
League of Their Own. I'm so bummed. I thought I was gonna have one. Like I wanted to have one of them on my team because I like that movie. But I got to go with Gus Sinski, played by John C. Reilly, as my catcher. I feel like that's a no-brainer. And now, again, Wes, you got. I mean, I got to pick my reliever.
Well, but that's not even the best version of John C. Reilly. Like serious John C. Reilly is not the John C. Reilly I want in my life.
Dude, so for when you guys listen at home, I know we have some of our listeners are not necessarily sports fans, but we're trying to pick a team to win a ball game. Just understand that I wouldn't lie to you guys. I would never lose this game.
Let's just have fun. You know, let's just throw rules out. Let's have a good time.
These are the two.
It's an exhibition game, apparently.
Yeah, let's just have a good time.
You play to win the game.
Okay,
have you seen my reactions?
What are you, Herm Edwards?
That's what I was going for. All right, you're up, Wes.
Yeah, so I have one DH left. Geez, you know, this is a tough one here. Give me Jack Elliott, who is played by Tom Selleck in the movie Mr. Baseball.
That's a good one.
It's a good movie.
He can be a first baseman. He reminds me a lot of Don Mattingly with that excellent mustache he's got there. Yeah, he's a little washed at this point. He's gone to Japan. He's seen some stuff, you know. But again, a steadying locker room presence. You can't overrate that.
You know, Wes, your whole team is going to have a great time when they lose because nobody's going to be mad at each other because just, guys, we're cool. We're all buddies.
Well, what's even better is that you're going to know who my manager is, and I'm going to be taking a little bit of a chance here. This is a guy who has not had professional managerial experience.
No, there's Buttermaker for that.
He's never been a full-on manager of a team, as this so happens. Give me Brickma, played by Daniel Stern from Rookie of the Year. And he's going to be...
Conservation, Henry. That is the key to success.
And they're going to be having a great time because he's going to be locked in the storage locker because he wouldn't be able to get out of there because he's got that locking door in there.
Excuse me, ladies. Excuse me. Do you remember he goes to play the pinball machine?
Yeah, right.
Oh, man, that movie is so funny. Oh, God. That's a great pick.
It's not. I thought that was a pretty good one.
But, yeah, you guys are going to have fun with him because they're
going to have a great time. No, because I have so many leaders in that clubhouse that he's not even going to be there. He's just going to be what a baseball manager is, a manager.
You can't have too many Chiefs,
he's not a coach.
Yeah, he's not a coach. He's definitely not.
No, certainly not.
His sign that Henry's in the game, too, brilliant, where he's got like a fly.
Yeah.
That means you're in.
I don't think either of you would know my manager pick.
Who would it be?
Gus Cantrell.
Of course.
Gus Cantrell? Is that...
You probably haven't even seen the movie.
Gus Cantrell.
Yeah, I can't believe that, Nick.
You might not even know the movie exists.
How hard is it to take him seriously right now with that stupid helmet on his head?
Gus Cantrell. He actually managed Pedro Serrano.
Okay, so that was the guy from Major League.
Major League 3.
Oh,
Back to the Minors.
What's
Gus Cantrell, played by Scott Bakula.
And Roger Dorn was also in that movie, right?
I'm a huge Scott Bakula.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. What's the manager's name in Major League? I forget.
I know this one. Jeez. It was on the tip of my tongue, and I thought somebody was going to say it earlier. It was in my head when I thought somebody was going to say it earlier.
I was actually watching it. I was watching some of it earlier because it was on AMC, and I can't. It's played by Edward. No, the character's name is
Lou, right?
Brown.
Lou, yeah.
James Gammon is the actor.
James Gandolfini, yes.
Not
he
James
was great in that role. Big
Now,
fan of his.
Can anybody do an impression of Lou?
No.
Because that's a voice worth trying to do.
Me and impressions.
Doesn't he talk like this?
Yeah, he talks like that.
The whole time, yeah, okay.
Dorn.
Now, you know what I wouldn't mind doing, too, because baseball season, just another little idea for another time. If we did a comic book character or fictional character, action hero character draft for baseball. We could do that for football.
Oh, right.
We could do that for hockey, basketball.
But you're taking heroes from the DC and MCU and all that stuff.
I used to love doing stuff like that.
Oh, that's really that's a nice crossover stuff. Maybe football season we can break that out.
Yeah.
NBA finals or something something fun.
Maybe we could do that for basketball first.
Yeah,
I like that idea. Does that bring it over to me now?
We have I believe we just have. I have the announcer role to fill.
Oh, so I guess it's not going to matter. I'm going to have to pick announcer before you because I still have two spots left to pick. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, so I'm going to go with my second pitcher. I wanted to go with Rowan Gardner because I think he has the best arm, even better, obviously slightly better than
Sure.
Wild Thing.
A lot of choices you can go in pitching here.
There's a lot of pitching choices for sure. You could obviously go with relievers. I mean, there's Kenny DeNunez too from Sandlot. There's Chet Steadman, who's a gamer,
the Rocket,
not a reliever.
High Stinky Limburger.
Yes, exactly. Now there's another one too, who I want to give a quick shout out to. My pitching coach in college actually appeared in Rookie of the Year as part of why it's so high on my list.
Oh wow, pretty
and
cool.
He hates.
Is that why you went to Northwestern?
That's 100% why. He hates when you quote the movie, so naturally, all through my 4 years, I quoted it every chance I could. I even did the Brigma sign one time when we were like a McDonald's getting food, because he was asking me like what I want my sign to be, and he knew exactly what I was doing when I did it, and he just gave me the friggin' death stare. Dude's like 6'7" mountain, pitched in the big leagues, the only human being to win a World Series and win an NCAA title.
Really?
For basketball.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
Tim Stoddard, who was the pitcher in Rookie of the Year that is in the famous scene, Pitcher's Got a Big Butt.
Really?
That was my pitching
He has
coach
the
in
big
college.
butt?
Yes. He has the
of course.
big butt.
No wonder why he hates it.
So whenever I say to him, that one's for you, kid. He's like, he just doesn't. But yeah, dude, I mean, he's this.
That's pretty cool.
He played
that.
He played for the boss and everything like that, but I'm not picking him. As much as I love him, I respect him. I'm actually going to stick with the theme of my team.
He played for Bruce Springsteen?
What?
He played for Bruce Springsteen?
Okay.
Tony Danza. Tony Danza, that's it.
I'm going to go with, I'm going to stick with the theme of my team. Bunch of a-holes. This guy, Kyle Farnsworth is a guy in Major League Baseball who you don't want to get in a fight with. He's the one pitcher who's going to kick your ass.
He had a big, nice spear when he was on the Cubs. I remember that.
Bob Uecker described this guy in, Bob Uecker's character in Major League, which I cannot remember his name in that movie.
Harry Doyle.
What?
Harry Doyle.
Harry Doyle. He described his character as saying he threw at his own kid in a father-son game.
Oh. That's good.
Isn't that great? That's great writing. I'm going to go with the Duke, who was the Yankees relief pitcher.
Right.
Total dink. Oh, my God.
I need a YouTube video of just all the Euchre lines from Major League.
I'm sure there's one out
from
there.
From all three films.
Oh, my God.
The Duke was pretty good.
The Duke's my relief pitcher, and then my announcer. I told you, Wes, that I would give you one guy. I don't know. You stick with that guy who I told you?
No. I got my own.
Okay, so I was thinking about John Candy's character before. From Rookie of the Year, which is a good one.
Correct, yeah.
But I want a guy who's like salt of the earth, who like he's all about the game, he does it the right way, and he works his tail off. I'm pretty sure he went nameless in the movie, but I want the guy who's announcing the games from Bull Durham. Bull Durham, where they used to use the stick in the ball, like a wood block to make the sound of a hit on the road.
The minor
league announcer.
Yeah.
Give him his shot at the big time.
Wow, okay.
Yes, I don't know. So I'm going to go with a nameless announcer, but we'll say Bull Durham announcer.
Okay.
Yes, that's my guy.
Mine would be Will Ferrell's iteration of Harry Carey, which I think would just be fun. It goes with my overall theme of fun. But when it came to mind just when you were talking was Hank Azaria's character on that TV show. It's like Bruckheimer.
Oh, Bruckheimer.
Bruckheimer.
The new season of that's coming
Bruckheimer,
out.
that's
I'm probably going to give that a
He
look.
would be really fun. Because, he likes to party, he likes to have a good time. He's got that great kind of baseball, old-timey, voice to him.
Yeah, he's done that on The
A
Simpsons
good cadence.
too,
Yeah, exactly. He would be really good as
That
well.
would be a good pick, for sure.
So, but we all can agree that the worst baseball announcer in any TV show or movie is Scotty Smalls, right? He was brutal.
Scotty Smalls.
At the end of The Sandlot.
He became a baseball announcer.
Oh, yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, that was bad. I'm sorry.
And that was homerism at its absolute worst.
He sucked, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my, a lot of play-by-play announcers are homers. I think
This was like Hawk Harrelson.
I mean, Jack
levels.
Edwards has to be the
Jack Edwards is up there. Tommy Heinsohn.
Tom Heinsohn, yeah.
Tom Heinsohn's pretty bad.
At least Tom Heinsohn played for the Celtics and was the head coach for the Celtics. It makes a little more sense.
That's true, but
I mean, that's why I like X so much. But
well, this is a whole other conversation for off the air, but there's a reason why Tommy Heinsohn does what he does.
oh.
Well,
Okay, well, I'll have to hear about that then.
Yeah. So
sorry for the listeners at home. We got to run through who we got.
Yes. So my team, starting on the mound, will be Billy Chappell. If I need a reliever, which I probably won't, I have the Duke, but he's there for a fight if I need him. Gus Sinski is my catcher, who's obviously Billy Chappell's battery mate in the for the love of the game. Then I have Butch Hato at first base, mashes. Then I have Kelly Leak as my second baseman. I mean, putting him at second base is too. I mean, he's too good for second base. But the dude again mashes. Miguel Tejada, played by Royce Clayton from Moneyball, as my shortstop. I have Pedro Serrano out in right field. I have Ben Williams, Matthew McConaughey's character in Angels in the Outfield. Obviously, he has God on his side. The whole team did. I have Bumpy Bailey from The Natural, who legitimately killed himself on the baseball field, running to catch a ball. That's a guy that I want, and I can afford to have someone like that because my DH is Roy Hobbs, who I can stick in the outfield if I need him to. But obviously, the best pure hitter in this draft. My manager is a one Morris Buttermaker, the original Buttermaker from the first Bad News Bears. Then I have the announcer from Bull Durham. I forgot to list my third baseman because it's at the bottom of my list. I have Roger Dorn from Major League, rounding things out for my entire team. What do you got, Wes?
It's a pretty good team. That's a pretty good team. I'm just finishing up my little lineup here that I'm putting together.
Oh, you're making an actual lineup,
I'm putting
too.
an actual lineup together. Yes, I am.
Okay, well,
yes,
I guess I should probably try and do that for afterwards, too. But that was my infield.
This is what I got here. Okay, so starting, hitting leadoff for my team here will be Willie Mays Hayes at center field. Batting in the 2-hole will be Benny the Jet Rodriguez playing shortstop. And we got Bobby Rayburn playing in outfield to round out my Wesley Snipes connection. He's also at the 3-hole for me. Batting cleanup is Clu Haywood, first baseman, who I believe played on the Detroit Tigers of the in Major League. We have Jack Elliott, first baseman from DH, I should say, from Mr. Baseball, who's batting 5th in the DH spot. Batting 6th is Shoeless Joe Jackson, my last outfielder from Field of Dreams. We got the great Hambino batting 7th and catching. We got Hooch playing second base at number 8. Number 9 hitter is Kofi Evans from Hardball and playing third base for me. And starting on the mound is Nuke LaLoosh.
All right, it's a solid
from what movie is that? There, Bull Durham.
So
and then Kenny Powers is my reliever.
Real quick, my actual lineup would be Kelly Leak, second baseman,
I
leading
just
off.
don't even get to finish my team, do I?
Were you not done?
Well, I got a manager.
I'm sorry,
I got my announcer going on.
I'm sorry.
This whole episode, you just haven't even been paying attention. You're just on your phone. You got your mask on. You're picking a bad team.
I'm getting the 2v1 stuff lined up because for our loyal listeners. While you're not telling me we're going to make an actual lineup.
I got Brick my man. You didn't have to. This is just what I chose to do.
This is the right move.
You don't have to follow. You don't have to be like a sheep out there. Pull the wool from over your eyes.
Sorry, you took all the leaders, so I'm
Brickma,
lost.
And I got Harry Carey as my announcer. Now, Nicholas,
Okay. So
Please go ahead.
I have Kelly Leak as my leadoff hitter playing second base. Miguel Tejada, played by Royce Clayton, he's batting second at short. Roy Hobbs, my DH, is my number 3 hitter. Pedro Serrano, first baseman. Left fielder, is hitting 4th. Butch Hato is my first baseman. He's hitting 5th. I mean, that's as deadly 3, 4, 5 as you're going to see. Those are the best hitters that aren't like real players. And then I have Miguel Tejada, who's also one of the best hitters in these movies and a main character to some extent. Roger Dorn playing third base, batting 6th. Then I have Bumpy Bailey playing right field, batting 7th. Then I have Ben Williams, played by Matthew McConaughey.
Great pick.
Batting 8th, playing center field. Obviously, I mean, no ball is hitting the ground with him out there. And then I have Gus Sinski, played by John C. Reilly, rounding things out, batting 9th.
Okay, that's great. Well, we'll have to put it out to the people. We'll put a poll out.
Yes, sir.
On Twitter at the Change My Mind Pod to see who put together the better team. But at this point in time,
we got to do the 2v1, right?
2v1, which is just very much, a little bit of an extension of what we just did.
Right, but we want to read off what our viewers had to say, our listeners had to say about this 2v1. Now, normally it is more of a battle of violence with our 2v1. Who would save you from the other two that are trying to kill you? Like 2 weeks ago, we did Yoda, Gandalf, and Dumbledore.
Oh, this wasn't still... I thought that was still the...
I don't think our listeners approached it that way. I think a lot of those people didn't necessarily know. I put the opening day hashtag in there, and that kind of throws some things off a little bit. I'm going to assume that... What do you think? What do you think we should Tim, what do you think as our producer? Should we treat this like we normally do? Or should we think of this as like you have 2 guys in your lineup and the one would not... 2 guys not in your lineup and 1 guy would be?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's killing anybody in this one.
Yeah.
See, I just assumed that they were trying to kill you.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, here's what our listeners had to say. So we had at Mark Umland said Kelly has one hell of an arm and he smokes at bat. Yes, he does smoke at bat. So that's
he also smokes.
Yes, that's what he meant. He smokes when he's at bat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. They're missing some words in there. So that's pretty cool. Now, if he could only work out S with his old man, then he could stay focused. Do you got one for me, Wes?
Yeah, I got from Pod Askew at Pod Askew, the Pod Askew podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Got to go Pedro and Jobu with a very nice gift that he puts on there. He's saying you don't steal Jobu's from.
Okay.
Then we have the at DOC the OG who agrees Pedro hands down.
Okay. I have at Prince Thomas. I got Kelly. He's already great and nowhere near his prime.
That's a good point.
Let's see.
Cape Cod Hockey.
That's the best one.
Here? Sports Kids 3004. No doubt Kelly Leak. He was a man amongst boys on and off the field.
Damn straight. You just said Pedro hands down. Got to go Pedro and Jobu. And I think that rounds everybody out.
Well, I got one more here.
Oh.
At Tim Weisberg. He's got a blue check mark.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Serrano went on to become president of the United States and the All-State guy.
That is so... When I found out he was the All-State guy, I was rattled.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that at first.
Wow.
No, because his eyes were always... I feel like... real quick, before we go further on this.
Yeah.
With the 2v1, I know we've been saying the whole time we're going to, announce whoever, responds to those 2v1s. Mitchie B, who is a
He's
listener
a big
of the show.
supporter.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully
Yes.
I get to meet him in person this weekend.
Yes.
I know you know him already.
Yes, and he has his own podcast. He tweeted about Dumbledore and that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
He picked Dumbledore. I don't have his tweet in front of me, but I'm sure we'll have him involved in 2v1s going forward, along with others. Now, Tim, you said this was an easy decision for you. I want to hear what you have to say, but Wes, you're approaching this like our normal 2v1s.
Well, yeah.
So I'm very curious.
You just need to take a step back for those who didn't see it, though. You didn't say who the 3 people are.
Jeez. Pedro Serrano, Kelly Leak, and Butch Hato. And part of me looks back on it now, and I should have probably put the Duke in here instead of Kelly Leak.
Yeah, because that would have been approaching it from the way that I viewed it as we've done in the past is wanting to protect me. I want Jobu on my side at all times because he's got the Jobu magic. So I want Pedro Serrano there. I don't think anyone's going to be throwing curveballs at me, so I think we'll be okay on that front.
If I throw Duke in there, does that make a difference for you?
No, my answer's still the same. Butch Hato's an all-time bad guy. Yeah, I don't want to promote dipping to the children. Not in a children's movie.
Okay, all high and mighty over there.
Think about the children, Nick.
Yeah, right. Yeah, real.
Think about them.
You're real good. You're a real saint. Thanks, Mother Teresa. All right, Tim, are you picking?
Yeah, I always pick voodoo where I can.
Right. Did you just pull out the?
Jesus, I didn't realize I was caught. You know what? The whole time I'm like jerking out of my seat with the helmet on.
You didn't have to worry about it.
I didn't even think about that though. I honestly had no idea that the cord wasn't there. I was so enraged about those 2 picks.
We need a T-shirt of your face, like in that laugh mode with like the Heath Ledger ha 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 ha, like not the Heath Ledger, the Jared Leto ha the ha's all over the place.
We got a lot of T-shirts we got to get to.
Yes, we do.
We will do that for sure. You know, I'm probably gonna go with. I'm actually gonna go with Kelly Leak in this because that kid will fight dirty. He's a scrapper. He's dealt with abuse. He's
not afraid to go low too. He's got a low center of gravity.
Yeah. Anybody who smokes at the age of 12 or 13, I mean, like that's a kid you don't mess around with. Those are the people you try and make friends with, like so that they always got your back.
Lung capacity could be an issue.
At that age, he's fine.
Okay.
He's fine. He's still developing. He's still a growing young boy. So Wes, what else has been on your mind?
We mentioned at the top of the show, the newest season of Keeping Up with the I am not afraid to say this. The newest season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians is on. This is something that I at first conceded with my fiance to watch because it's give and take in this.
You did tell me this. Okay, that's right.
And I slowly got roped into it. And I'd find like she would fall asleep and I could have easily changed the channel at any moment. Yet I am like sucked in for some reason by these vapid people. I don't know why. I can't explain it. But every time I go to the commercial break, I got to know what's next. I got to know what's happening next. And then I come to find out, I didn't see the first episode last night, but then they got all this stuff coming. They're going to be talking about Kanye's mental breakdown. He's prominently featured. He's doing confessionals for the first time ever in the show. I'm a huge, huge Kanye apologist. Like probably like one of my first favorite artists that I really fell like head over heels for in high school. First concert I ever saw. Big fan of Kanye West. Apologist for him. So that he's on there, and then also Barry season 2 started last night on HBO.
Right. Yep,
that's what I'm watching.
That's a good one. I know you were big into that. By the way, just a couple other characters that got left out. Neil Flynn's character Oki, and for those who don't know who Neil Flynn is, he's the janitor from Scrubs. He was the first baseman in Rookie of the Year.
Oh right.
Got left out. Buck Weaver was the guy. I don't know if I mentioned him, and there were a few others too, but I just wanted to make sure I had everybody that was on my list.
You know, it was a big one is Miles Penfield from Hardball. He was the guy who could only pitch well when he was listening to I Love It When You Call Me Big Papa.
That's right. And then there was actually Donald Glover's character too, and I surprised I didn't write it down. George Knox.
Chet the Rocket Stedman we didn't pick.
Chet Stedman, but yes. But that's right. He was called Rocket.
Chet Rocket, yeah.
I just never heard him called that. That's just so weird.
Mel Clark, Angels in the Outfield, played by Tony Danza.
Well, and then George Knox, that was Donald Glover's character in Angels in the Outfield too.
He was a manager, but yeah.
Right. Now, what has been on my mind?
The other one too. I'm sorry, real quick. Steve Nebraska, played by Brendan Fraser in The Scout.
Oh, that's
very good starting pitcher.
Oh, and then there's that. Oh man, the movie that everybody hates, the baseball one with Clint Eastwood, where he's a scout in that one too.
Oh, Trouble with the Curve.
Trouble with the Curve, yeah. And he has that kid, and then Matthew Lillard's actually in that one too.
Right.
Oh, you didn't even get to talk about how much you hate Summer Catch.
Oh yeah. Well, it's probably best that we don't.
Well, I mean, I would think we give you a second to talk about it. Why you hate it?
I hate it. So as someone who's from Cape Cod and has covered the Cape Cod Baseball League for a handful of years now. It's a horrible misrepresentation on what is such a beautiful, nostalgic version of baseball that gets played.
I think it's fair.
That's not even
I don't enjoy
it. The ball players are plowing the local chicks.
Right. And Wilmer Valderrama's character, Mickey Dominguez, does bang one of his host moms.
So, I mean, that is part of the Cape League, but it's not the part that we like.
Chasing girls and all that, getting into fights and getting into bar fights and stuff. Another really poor misrepresentation of the Cape League is Ryan Dunn, a.k.a. Freddie Prinze Jr., being the star of an athletic movie without having an athletic bone in his body.
Okay. Jessica Biel is gorgeous in that, as always.
Yeah, but she's like, it's not a baseball movie. That's the best thing.
Matthew Lillard's character, he was, well, wait a minute, but he apparently turned down $2 million in that movie, right?
Right, to go, from the Dodgers to go mess around the Cape.
No shot. Especially back then, no shot in hell that happens. But all this, the hijinks, I mean, I'm not saying that all that happens, but there's a lot of stuff happens in
no, I've heard stories.
Brandon Inge, former Major League Baseball player, I think he played in the league for like 10 years. His wife was his host mom on the Cape.
Oh, really?
Like legit. I'm not making that up. He married his host mom.
The manager of the Wareham Gateman, when Nick Swisher was down here, gave his car out to Nick Swisher. Nick Swisher drunkenly crashed his car.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
I think I've heard that story because I think somehow my college coach helped him out in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, because I think
There was another player when I was covering the YD Red Sox who had to go home the day that he found out that the Florida Marlins scouts were coming to check him out specifically because the night before he had gone out with someone who was a local who was playing on the Cape League, went out to some bars, got into a fight, broke his pitching hand punching someone.
So dumb.
The night before a scout was coming, so he had to leave.
Wow. That's brutal, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous. There's some horror stories, too. The host family I had when I was there for the brief time I was there.
You were on the Cape League? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I played for Falmouth.
Oh, I didn't know that. No, I thought you were just a Bay Sox guy.
No, I played for Falmouth for a very short bit. I played with Reese Hodgkins, now Major League fame, and quite a few other guys, too. But the guy who I came in after, like the person who'd lived in the house that I lived in prior to, his name was Brandon Finnegan. He went on to pitch he's a TCU pitcher. He was pitching for USA Baseball at that time.
Sure.
He went to pitch in the College World Series and in the actual World Series in the same year. He's the only human to ever do that.
No kidding.
And then there's me.
Well, yeah. Well,
but he was, the whole
Commodore's
was great.
Famously snake bitten.
Yeah. Commies for life, though, for sure.
You got to be careful about that. Karl Marx over there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Especially in this building right now.
I can't even play stupid. So what's been on my mind?
Sorry, that was long delayed, huh?
So this is starring Nicholas Hoult, who we know more so from
Beast,
from X-Men playing Beast, and then Lily Collins.
Warm Bodies.
I didn't know this was a movie. I saw this somewhere, and it's coming out. I don't know what point this year, but Tolkien. About J.R.R. Tolkien,
yeah. I've heard about this.
The author of Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, but he's known for much more than that. I mean, his command of languages was pretty much, I think, unparalleled. Brilliant mind. I forgot.
You could say that he's a cunning linguist. Yeah. Thank you.
You're unbelievable sometimes.
Perform cunning stunts.
Jesus, Tim,
man,
but
that's good. That's good stuff.
You know what? I will see that movie. I love Lord of the Rings growing up as a kid, and those are the only books I think that I've ever read more than once.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Man.
I love them.
Only book I've read more than once?
The Bible?
The King James Version. Thank you. Our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
So stupid. You are not even remotely religious. Not even.
What do you mean?
Yeah, you're not.
Don't. Whoa.
Am I wrong?
You're not right.
Okay, then I'm wrong. Stupid. All right. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, I don't know much about it outside of the few things that I said. I know Lily Collins is playing his wife Edith Bratt. I think it's going to be a decent movie. I mean, I don't know if it's definitely not something we'd want to talk about on here.
It could be.
For a full episode, you think? I think it's going to be a little more of a film than a movie. You know what I mean?
You think I can't talk shop with the best of them? Talk some highbrow
We can
movies?
talk about highbrow. Okay, if we're going to do Tolkien, we're going to do Annabelle Comes Home. 100%.
Those are two of your choices. What do I get out of that?
I don't want to do Tolkien.
I'm saying we could do something like that.
Well, you got something to say, Tim?
No, I was just going to say there's other films about authors that you could do. Like there's the movie about J.M. Barrie, the guy who wrote Peter Pan.
But I'm saying people don't want. I don't think that's much of a talker for a podcast.
It's not.
Unless we're turning into NPR and we want to.
I mean, it is a talker if you want to sound like total douches.
Do you want to go really up close to the mic and talk like this the whole time?
We can get into some ASMR stuff. Like
I actually like that stuff.
Whoa, hey yo,
yeah, I do. But anyways, Wes, where can the people find us?
You can find us in Nick's closet in the ASMR studio later on. Come check us out.
At least he's not watching mukbang videos yet.
Well, it's a slippery slope.
What ASMR is weird, but it's not. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, I know. It's really benign.
It's more of a relaxing thing.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah.
And just mix it up once in a while. Anyways,
Sure. Yeah, that's why I go with my right hand every now and again.
That's not even okay.
Oh, that's not what you're talking about?
No. I think you're thinking of BDSM.
No. This
is getting weird. I think we gotta wrap it up.
This is what happens when we go.
This is supposed to be a show that kids can listen to.
I was waiting. No one knows what that means. I was waiting for your reaction.
It's the reactions that go on.
Let's see. Okay.
Where can you find us? On Twitter at the Change My Mind Pod.
Yep.
Or on Twitter for Fry_guy1 or Nick_Fryer.
Yes.
That's it, right? That's just flat Nick _Fryer. And you can find me at Wesley Sykes_. Tim at Tim Weisberg. Blue checkmark certified.
And of course, the
WBSM 1420 AM on the live stream.
Absolutely. And you can, and everything's posted to Geeks Worldwide too in terms of all the links. We're on their SoundCloud, their iTunes. We have our own iTunes channel, Spotify, Stitcher. And if you guys want more baseball stuff, Seems Legit, go find that. It's SEA, as in like baseball seems.
Right.
And then of course, thank you. And if you're a Cape Cod resident and sports fan, the Cape Cod Sportscast.
Very close.
Cape Cod.
I screw up over it myself.
Okay. There's a Cape Cod pod, right?
I don't know. Could be.
Okay.
It's not very good if it is.
No, definitely not. But I think that wraps pretty much everything up for this week, right?
I think we've covered it from soup to nuts. Right. I think we did that. Next week, Barry? No, Shazam.
Shazam.
I meant to say Shazam. Barry came out for some reason.